Today, I'm speaking to a young entrepreneur, 27 years old, and has just bought his first business. He's in the care space. Do you know what? Although he's turning £80,000 a month and he's bought a business, I think he's missing a trick on buying more companies, which he desperately wants to do. I've got some M&A tips up my sleeve that I've used over the last 20 years to help regrow my businesses. And I think he's using too much of those emails, too much of these Zoom calls. You've got to get in the car and actually get things done. So I'm going to give him the tools. Now, this show is supported by Revolute Business, the all-in-one business account to manage your finances. Whether you're just started out or already running a large company, Revolute Business has got the tools for you to grow and scale your business. Right, let's get into the show. Welcome back to the Business Broadcast. This is the podcast designed to help grow your business. Today, we are speaking to someone that's just bought a care home after running their own care home. JB, tell us all the headline challenges.
Well, the biggest headline challenge at the moment is this business is hyper local. And they're saying that they want to keep the hyper local efficiencies all in one place. So they can't scale nationally at the moment. They have to scale very close to home. But they have just closed on their first ever acquisition.
And they want to do more.
Literally yesterday. So doing
Muscle
45
tough,
grand a month. Their biggest challenge at the moment is growth and sales. Second biggest challenge is scaling. And the third biggest challenge is M&A and how they grow and scale this business. In-home care businesses.
I'll tell you what their biggest challenge is going to be, JB.
Come on,
before we
what
talk
is it
to
going to
them,
be?
is recruiting people to do that. It's devilishly difficult to get great people in care.
Well, let's find out from Akshay himself. Akshay, over to you to give us the elevator pitch on the business, my man.
Yeah, welcome. Thanks so much, guys. So Chime Care is a hyper-local marketplace. So we provide in-home care services, and our mission is to make care more accessible, uplift its quality, and improve health outcomes. And our mission essentially is to transform the lives of the people receiving care and completely reimagine how people deliver care to make the best of both worlds for both our caregivers, who are everyday superheroes, and the people we serve.
Oh, I tell you what, that's a good
done.
That's a very well polished sales pitch. Actually,
Thank you very much.
Stay where you are. We're going to come back to you shortly. That is, we're going to know how to do an elevator pitch. That was it.
Yeah,
that was pretty much it. So
this business is all about people, though, and that is what is so difficult. Now, we've got our day nursery business. You know, if I could find more great managers, we would have more great day nurseries. It's really hard to find those people.
Would you actually have more if you could find great people? You'd open places.
If I could go to a shop that says with gold letters above the top, great day nursery managers for on sale in here. We would have 10 more day nurseries.
Surely is that not just a recruitment drive for you?
We try all the recruitment stuff, and we try and promote within. People don't want the responsibility. We've got some amazing managers, but it is hard. Very hard.
This must be, because this is in-home care. So this is not a care home. This is where they go to somebody's.
And the pay isn't great, is it? That's the thing, because the business has to make a profit. The wages need to be paid. The expenses need to be met. And a big chunk of the revenue is already spent on labour as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I started out in childcare, it was 50%. It's now, I hate saying this, like 65% of your turnover, and lots of childcare businesses, and I imagine it in care as well, is going on labour. And if you bring that down too much, the quality goes down as well, and people get worn out.
Well, some challenges indeed, as I say, growth and sales, scaling and M&A, but they've just done their first acquisition, so it's going to be a very interesting conversation that we're going to have.
Wonder if robots are going to be a part of this in the next 10 years.
Hello there, I will take your child now, thank you.
Well, interesting fact.
There, you are okay, little Johnny, stop crying, it will be okay.
Well, there's a new robot out called Neo. Have you seen this going on the internet?
No.
Maybe we can put a little bit up on the edit. Have you seen about this, Chance?
Yeah, I'm going to let you say what you think it is, and then I'm going to tell you what it actually is.
Ha! Right. Shut everybody.
It's a huge letdown, by the way. It's completely false advertising.
Michael Chadley.
Well, go on, explain it.
Well, correct. James Sinclair since 2017.
I saw it. It's 20 grand to buy one. Is that correct? Am I right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, or $500 a month.
Right.
It's a subscription robot.
That's
It's true. Fantastic.
Maybe we can put the ad on the screen just to show that this is. So people think that they can get a home help robot for $500 a month.
Yes.
That can do your hoovering.
Right.
No.
Yeah, everything that the video tells you it can do that.
Fine.
There's a huge caveat. The caveat is it's someone else doing it remotely.
But yes, I saw
What,
that.
through like...
Yes,
through cameras?
Apple Vision
No,
goggles.
is it?
So
That's
the
not a robot.
advertisement is 80% not automation. The 20% that it can do is like open the door for you. And there's one other thing that it can do. But the hoovering and the folding sheets and moving the dog bed or whatever is just someone else controlling it at the moment. And they think they're years away from it being a fully automated thing. But they don't say
So
that.
someone in a lower cost economy, so someone in
Absolutely.
India, China,
I don't know if that's the
Philippines
case,
is going to
but
be...
I think, I don't know. I think they're doing it themselves. The people that work for the company, they're the ones controlling it for you, I think. But the advertisement is false, if that makes sense. But they did a behind the scenes video where a tech influencer went and tried it out for the day.
I've not even heard
And they're
of this.
stood next to the person controlling it. So it's not as, it's a bit of a, oh, look at this fancy new thing. It's not really happening, is it?
So that then is a model where that's very clever, because if it is the tech, and if, for example, if you're paying somebody overseas, you're probably paying them $100 a month. Then you got
No,
a
it's
400.
that low. I mean, that is a misconception.
I also don't think that's the model that they're going for. They're not.
So what are they
No,
doing this until it
let's
gets
just
to
say
scale?
The 1% of America, the 1% of the Western world are not buying a robot for 20 grand and then paying someone in the Philippines to run it. That's not what's happening, I don't think.
It must be, though.
You know,
if
like
it's
you want the
400
website doing and you want it done for 20 quid, you get it done on Fiverr. I don't
Yeah.
think it's like that, no. I think this company is
I
just
think this is Fiverr for robots.
No, I think this company's just
Oh,
showing
I
that-
think JB's right. I think it is Fiverr for robots. I reckon there'll be someone in the Philippines.
But they're
Nah, this-
proving the case
Well, they
for
need
it
to look-
to then actually have it as a robot.
I think they're just showing off the technology. I don't think it's launching
Fine.
like that. And it even says coming 2026 with no date on it, so...
Would you have a robot in your house? You would, wouldn't you? That's a bit of you, that is.
I think once that happens, if it becomes that affordable, everyone, I mean, I showed it to Nats, my wife, and she went, we're absolutely not having that. And I thought, people said they're absolutely not going to use online banking. They would
Yeah,
always go
it's
to a
true.
branch.
This
What was her
is way
reticence?
different, though. Having a humanoid in your house is not the same as opening up an app. The
Because I think
lifestyle
what will happen
transition is way
say
different.
I have a humanoid robot, yeah, and it's doing the hoovering, it's unloading the dishwasher, and that costs $500 a month.
He's so careful. He's so careful.
And you come round my house and you're like,
Don't go where we're going.
no, you come round my house and it's let the dog out for a wee so you can go to work and all those
What
things.
a pointless existence, so you can go to work more. What, just have this...
Well, no, but
This
you
is
go out
James
for
Sinclair
work.
we're talking
Would you not
to.
think doing the laundry and walking the dog is part of being a human being and we should be doing that stuff?
I didn't say walking the dog, but if you
Well,
go
letting
out
the dog
to work
out.
and you're at work all day in London and now someone can let the dog out for a week,
Yeah.
like that, once you've got a dog,
I'll
is a handy Harry thing.
tell you what as well, for $500 a month, so if you can sit and watch Slow Horses with me in the evening on Apple TV, I actually don't need Hayley at this point. If it's got a few more skills as well, I mean, she's out. She's fully out.
No, but there's other thing. Say you got caught in traffic on the M25
Right, this is
and
niche.
you've got a dog and the dog hasn't had a wee, you can just say, hey,
Is this your sales pitch to Nats about getting a humanoid?
I'm telling you now, people, if it's affordable, once people start seeing, they'll be like, I need that. It will happen.
At
I
500
don't
quid a
think
month,
it
it is
will.
affordable as well, isn't it?
I'm in the camp that it's not going to happen. You might have one, but you're so different to everyone else on this
That
planet.
is true.
Me and JB won't have one. None of my mates will.
Hey, speak for yourself.
I'm
Depends
talking
on
about-
what this thing could do.
I'm trying
I'm
to-
having one, I'm telling you.
I'm trying to talk about normal people, JB.
Fine.
Me and you are normal.
Fine. He'll definitely have one in every room.
I think
Because he'll
it's
forget to
gonna
charge it. Like, cannot compute.
No, it charges itself. Walks back to the wall and plugs itself in.
Definitely.
That's like a dream companion, isn't it?
Well, look,
So I'm done with you. Plug yourself back in the wall now.
have you not heard about this?
I've not
JB?
heard about this. I wish I had heard about it. I'm getting it on the pre-order list now.
The first comment on their advert, the first comment was from Daniel Priestley, and his words were just simply, "So it begins."
It's true though, isn't it? Wow, I'm up for it. I think it'd be great. Wow, Neo Robot.
Well, there we go. Is there a knock at the door?
Have we not already done that? Did we do that? No, we haven't done that. No, you're quite right. We could get the robot could do it in future.
Interesting quote or fact.
Interesting quote or fact. Interesting quote of fact. It's time for the interesting quote of fact of the week.
Well, following on from our technology theme, I'm going to do a little interesting fact or quote or monologue, really, on NVIDIA.
Okay.
Which is the chips that are powering all these humanoid robots.
Yes.
They are a company that no one heard of.
No.
Up until about 18 months ago, when we first started talking about them on the podcast. And now they're in the Magnificent Seven. Who else are in the Magnificent Seven? Do you want to play along at home here? Do you know what the Magnificent Seven is?
Go on, tell everyone at home.
Magnificent Seven are the 7 most valuable companies on the S&P 500.
Okay.
Of which NVIDIA is in there. Anyone else?
What are you called these days?
Microsoft, Google,
Microsoft,
Apple,
Google,
Fabidabidoza?
Amazon.
Nike?
No, they're
Get me
light years away from that.
Get the robot in his head.
What did you get up with?
Google, Alphabet.
We got Alphabet,
Amazon,
Tesla. Did you say Tesla?
He didn't.
Tesla are definitely in there. Alphabet, Tesla, Microsoft,
Amazon.
We said Apple. Did we say Apple?
Yeah.
NVIDIA in there. So who's the missing one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who is number 7? Chance, can you just chat? So we got Alphabet, Tesla, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, NVIDIA. There's one other. Who have we missed? Oh, Meta. Yeah, of course.
Well, actually, I don't know who we've got on there, but the 7 that's come up straight away from Gemini on Google is Saudi Arabian Oil Co. They're number 7.
Really?
So who is on our list that isn't on this list?
Alphabet.
Yep, they're 4.
Tesla.
Not on there.
Oh.
Well, the Magnificent Seven in America then.
Yeah, maybe.
On the S&P 500. Microsoft. Anyway, so the big thing that all of these companies have in common, all of them are into robotics and AI in a big way. Anyway, so the guy, I mean, he's a lovely guy. I mean, I don't know if he is a lovely guy, but certainly some of the videos that I've seen, this Jensen Huang.
Yeah,
Huang. Jensen, it's Huang. How would you say that, Chuds? Huang?
I don't know. I'd rather not right now.
Jensen Huang.
Rather not.
The company was created in what? This is my interesting fact. Where did they create the company?
Where? Singapore.
No, in a Denny's diner.
Oh, right. You were going hyper niche. Fine. The robot version of me would have known that. Idiot. It isn't a Denny's.
So the Nintendo Switch runs on an NVIDIA chip. NVIDIA has a robot chef and an AI bartender in their offices. NVIDIA chips simulate the universe. Literally, NASA, major research centers, use NVIDIA GPUs to simulate black holes, galaxy formation, and quantum physics.
I can't. Have you ever tried to get your head around quantum physics? Oh my good God!
Well, I studied it. Yeah, it was quite hard. Anyway, now this is the bit that entrepreneurs and governments need to listen. Jensen Huang, Wang.
Easy for you to say.
Wang. Jensen Huang, his initial investment was his life savings to start NVIDIA. He put in $40,000, his own money, into NVIDIA at the start, nearly everything he had at 30 years old. Fun detail, he worked at LSI Logic before founding NVIDIA, and his first boss later said Jensen was the most intense engineer I've ever met.
I'm not surprised.
That's my interesting little fact for you.
Very good.
I think that's
fact.
what, chancellors and prime ministers, presidents and prime ministers of the world need to understand, that it is, again, like we've said this on the podcast before, it is the habits and behaviours of these founders and these entrepreneurs that someone needs to go. Like, they are our most precious metal. These are our most precious people, because why is it so sadly that UK has not created an Alphabet, Tesla, a Microsoft, an Amazon, an Apple, an NVIDIA, or a Meta? Because a lot of those talented people that are in there are engineers from sciences that have gone to universities in the UK and then moved over to America.
Yeah.
What are we not
Johnny
doing?
Ive, the creator of the iPhone, is a British guy.
Absolutely. What are we not doing to attract those people that America are doing so spectacularly well? And
we don't support people here, do we? Not only from a fiscal perspective with like the actual taxation of turnover, like you always talk about, but we just don't there isn't the support for it. Like entrepreneurs are like, they're waved on in America, aren't they? Like, good for you, give it a go. Whereas in the UK, we just don't want to, do we? You look at sort of like the influencers who sort of start doing like what's her name, Grace Beverly and all them sort of people. As soon as they start putting their head above the parapet, everyone wants to just shoot them down.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So that's all of that, and I agree with you. What's your interesting fact of the week?
So my interesting fact, I'm going to keep it tech because we're talking tech today. Well, in this little segment, the iMac was originally going to be called the Mac Man because of Steve Jobs' utter obsession with Sony and their Walkman, which he believed was the best product to ever have been created up until that point. So it took an entire team about 6 months to convince him not to call the iMac the Mac Man.
Wow. He was obsessed with Sony as well. That's very true. That's another interesting fact of the week interesting fact of the week.
Do you know, here's a third one. Do you know why CDs back in the day, do you remember you could write your music onto a CDR, but weirdly it was 78 minutes? The reason for that being 78 minutes is because the head of Sony's favourite concerto is 78 minutes long. So we decided that's how long the disc should be, because it should be able to hold, disc should be able to hold on to his favourite concerto.
There you go. Interesting.
Just loads of interesting facts or quotes. What are you saying about today's interesting facts or quotes, Chuds?
JB, that's the best one you've ever done.
Thank you, mate.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
Thank you. Like I said, just chucked it out there. Robot James couldn't come up with that, could he?
Hey gang, we're going back to the pod in just a moment, but I wanted to tell you about Entrepreneurs University. This is a platform that I've created for entrepreneurs and business owners that are serious about growth. There's 100 video lessons from me on everything in business, raising finance, buying companies, property investment, and everything in between. Attached to each video is a downloadable PDF that goes into more detail about what we've learned in the video. It goes one step further than that because I've also put stuff that you won't get anywhere else onto Entrepreneurs University. The lessons go into way more detail, but not just that. You're going to get my business plans, my spreadsheets, and all the files that I use to drive the KPIs in my business. Just think about how powerful that could be for your business. And here's the good news. You can try Entrepreneurs University for free. 14-day free trial. After that, it will cost you just $49.99 a month. That's less than a pair of Nikes to grow the profitability in your business. There's a link in the video description, and I cannot wait to see you in Entrepreneurs University. No, but let's talk about care now.
Let's talk about care indeed. So as we mentioned before, we have got lovely Akshay, who is on the pod. He has got Chime Care as the company. These guys have only been going a little while, which makes this even more impressive. Under 2 years, they're already doing 45 grand a month, 14 members, and they were basically testing the model in one very hyper-local area before they want to scale it out. They've just done their first acquisition. But he's got some challenges around growth and scale and scaling and M&A strategy. So should we get him on the pod?
Yeah, let's get him on.
Good afternoon, my friend. How the devil are you, sir? Are you doing well?
Yeah, doing very well. You guys are a right laugh. But yeah, doing well. Excited to have a conversation today.
Likewise. So you give us a very good 30-second elevator sales pitch on the business. Give us a bit more context to the content. So what do you guys do? Who did you do it for? And how did you get started?
Yeah, so I'll start with how I got started. So my parents own a traditional home care company in the east of England, and they got me and my twin brother to start working as carers about the age of 16. As you guys probably could relate, age of 16, I thought it was really cool. Kind of refused to do care work, and they kind of pushed us into it, and glad they did, to prevent us becoming spoiled little brats, and also to kind of understand how they fed us. And we worked all the holidays and stuff, and our first soiree was actually doing like a live-in package for a couple with alcohol-induced dementia. So I did 3 weeks, my brother did 3 weeks. And us being identical twins and them having dementia, they didn't realize we'd swapped over. And when the manager went in and kind of said, how the last 6 weeks go? The family were like, yeah, it was great for the first 3 weeks. Not as good for the second 3 weeks. I don't know what happened. Maybe he's going through something, not realizing it was my brother. And that became a bit of a family joke because he's now a surgeon in training in the NHS. So his bedside manner is questionable, which is why his patients are usually unconscious. And then from that point onwards, I worked all the holidays. My parents scaled out from 1 franchise area to 3. And during that time, I took over the original, scaled it from about 1 million to 2 million. And I had all these ideas of how we could improve care. Pitched it to my dad at the ripe old age of 18 or 19, and he, as any Asian father would, said, shut your mouth and go to university, which I did as I had no choice, and I couldn't let go of the idea. So that's how we got started. And then from there on, we raised a pre-seed round because obviously we had a lot of tech to build out to make what the vision I had in my brain come to life. So I was lucky enough to meet some amazing mentors who then became advisors and then pre-seed investors. We built out the tech, got our regulatory certification, and started very small and nimble in one town. We've now spread over to 9 towns in North Kent with very few resources. And we made our first acquisition recently. So now our group revenue is about 80K. So we were able to double in size quite quickly and kind of speed up the process rather than going 0 to 1 each time. And I think I've answered all 3 of your questions.
I think you have indeed.
When you say 80K, you mean per month?
Per month, yes.
Okay. So, and how did we meet, Akash?
So we were at...
And am I saying your name correctly, Akash? Is that right?
Akshay.
Akshay. Akshay,
yeah.
Sorry.
So we met at Ideas Fest. I was wearing a big pink suit and I was asking you a question and you gave me a really great answer. You said, if you want a bit of my time for free, come on the podcast. I was like, okay, go for it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. So what? Let's go through the first challenge, JB. Just talk to me through that.
So first challenge we've got down here is growth/sales. Give us a bit more context to that, please, Akshay, if you could.
Yeah, of course. So in care, typically you've got kind of 3 fishing pools. So you've got your private customers where you have higher margins, but obviously slightly smaller population. You have local authorities who pay for your care when your assets are below £23,000. But for those ones, you'll need to be inside the frameworks and the tenders and stuff. And then you have the NHS who pay for your care if you have very acute healthcare conditions. For us, we've been a little bit restricted because we are still waiting on some regulatory things and they've got a huge lag time. So we should have had our first inspection 12 months ago, but we didn't, and we're still waiting on it, which means we're limited in what we can do with the local authorities and the NHS. So we've basically been building our business privately or B2B or, kind of taking what is left over from local authority stuff. So we've only been really fishing from one pool. And the acquisition will open up a couple of these pools for us because we can move to 1 or 2 of the regulatory assets around. But we've been limited to 1 or 2 fishing pools rather than having access to more channels. So that's probably where we're struggling a little bit in terms of sales.
But so I can't help you with that. You just need to go and get your regulation, don't you?
Yeah, so more on like the obviously the NHS stuff and that one, we have to wait for a regulatory body, but more like the B2B side of things and like the private generation of business. Like that's where we know while we're still waiting on this stuff, we could be better at that. So whether it be like working with private hospitals, whether it be insurance, whether it be, in different types of examples where we haven't quite executed as well as we would have wanted to.
I mean, I think if you're buying companies that are already working with those people and you get these teams that understand it all, you buy in other people's 10,000 hours of purposeful practice and you're off to the races and you don't have to fumble around trying to work it all out yourself. So I think buy some more. How did you finance that first acquisition?
So partly debt and partly equity. Because we were quite small, we didn't get very particularly healthy bank debt or venture debt. And the ones that we were getting were extortionate interest rates at circa 17%. So our pool of investors that invested in our pre-seed round, they fronted up the equity and debt for us to execute on number 1. So that number 2 and 3 could be easier for us.
Yes, I mean, I wouldn't. Actually, if it was me, I would be finding businesses for sale and paying the owners out using vendor finance rather than raising money.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about that from you, and we did try that. The issue that we've come across is a lot of sellers in our space aren't particularly in the know about the vendor financing, and a lot of the brokers as well. Again, not at least in the SME side of things, which is our current fishing pool, aren't particularly in the know, and vendor financing accounts for between.
I've bought 35 businesses in various sectors over my career. Of course, brokers don't want that to be known, but you want to make sure there's an element of vendor finance. So imagine that debt that you got. How much did you raise to buy this first one?
We did 150 debt and then 100 equity.
So you got that 150 grand's worth of debt, so what was the total purchase price of the business? £250,000?
260 with 30 grand in deferred consideration.
So what next time? Try and get that deferred up, so that you can use that debt that you raised to go and buy 2 homes or 3 homes.
Yeah, that's what we're aiming at. So the one thing that we came across is, so this was went through about 20 pieces of deal flow before we landed on this one, and 18 out of the 20 straight out refused vendor financing. They wanted 100% cash on day one, which was a completely contradiction to what I knew of the market, which is exactly what you're saying, where you can structure these deals. So we've had a little bit of a mixed bag there.
So so those 20 deals, what was the communication so they wouldn't use any?
Yeah, so we went through one of three brokerages that kind of operate in the domiciliary care space, and all three of them are relatively large, and RDK, Knightsbridge, and so on. And so obviously we would go for the broker, we communicate that, okay, this is our buyer profile, this is the type of deals we're looking for, these are the deal structures we're looking for.
So actually, I never work out how I'm going to buy a business. I always go and see them. So I don't do any of my negotiations through the brokers. I've used those two that you've said and others. I make sure I go and see them. I shop and meet the owners. I build rapport, and then I put an offer with my structure. So if you're going up and asking for sex on the first day without even flirting on going out on a date, that's why people are saying no to you. Because I would.
Yeah.
I'd think, how about F off? Who does he think he is? This little whippersnapper that's just started out is asking me to finance buying his business, and he hasn't even given me the decency to come and see and look around my business.
Okay. Then what about
I have never done it the way you're doing.
Okay. So basically, I should kind of reverse engineer instead of kind of doing the DD over Zoom and getting the details. Just go straight out to meet them.
You wouldn't even get in the door of seeing my business if you'd start to do DD without coming and seeing it. That's like looking at a house and trying to negotiate on buying it before seeing it. The vendors,
of course.
How about no?
Yeah, no, you make a fair point there. But then usually the IMs are so brief.
It's the only point.
Yeah, but the IMs are always so brief, right? You barely get any information in it. So they typically...
I mean, if I've got time to do it, I go and see 4 or 5 businesses every month for sale. I don't buy them all, but every time I go, I learn a ton of stuff as well.
Yeah. Okay, truly noted. Thank you.
What's the next one?
Next challenge I have got down here is scaling. So you're talking, walk us through this like hyper-local concept that you've got, mate, which we were talking about off air.
Yeah, so the issue with like traditional dom care is that you've got a rota-based system, right? So you've got a bank of carers and a list of customers that you need to service. And because of a number of reasons like churn rate of the caregivers, people going off sick, this rota is basically constantly in flux. And who pays the cost of that? It is the customers, because they're not getting to build a relationship with the people who are providing quite intimate care for them. And also for the caregivers, I know James loves his tea, so I'm going to give a tea example. But let's say I ask James to pop to my house and provide me some care and make me a cup of tea. He's going to have to open up at least 3-4 cupboards, right? Find the mugs, find the tea, find the milk, find the sugar. If we then extrapolate that out to providing quite intimate personal care, helping someone take a shower, manage their routine, their medications, familiarity is very, very powerful. And even in symptom recognition and reporting digital health, it's super powerful. And the traditional industry, they don't have the technology, they don't have the operational know-how to basically build a system as such. And my experience and my co-founder in the tech side of things, we built a model where we basically create micro-personalized teams around each patient based on carers in their local area. And that allows us to, create more regularity for both the customer and the caregiver, and also provide a better standard of care. But that obviously means having hyper-local networks of customers and caregivers who are near each other, rather than having like one carer drive like a headless chicken around 3 or 4 different towns, doing minimal work and maximal driving.
So do you not employ these carers? You just use like agency bank staff?
So no, we vet them to the same degree, but instead of having them on a 0-hour PAYE contract, where obviously you've got to pay national insurance and stuff, they work with us on a dependent worker basis, which is kind of like the middle ground between a contractor and an employee. Similar to like the Taylor review when Uber got in trouble 5-6 years ago, and all the outcomes of that, we've incorporated all that feedback and built like a model in between.
I mean, I don't know the space well enough, but just why do you not just employ them so they only work for you so that they can't be robbed to other competitors?
Two or three difficulties there. One is obviously if you add up the national insurance and stuff, that means you're kind of forced to pay them near national minimum wage, which is one of the biggest issues in the industry, is because they're not getting paid enough. And so because of the cost advantage we developed with our tech and because of this new model and because of some other stuff, that we've created quite a big cost advantage. And we funnel that into our caregivers and we're paying them about 50% higher than market rates, which then allows us to pay them more and retain them as well. So it's basically...
But do they only work for you?
So the percentages, about 30-40% of them work just for us. Other people moonlight with other companies, and it works in a percentage. It also means that we need to find enough work for them quickly enough. But even if they were 0-hour contract, they're still entitled to work for someone else.
I think you will find, certainly with the direction of travel, that those loopholes on saving on national insurance, that they're going to go in the next couple of years. I'm sure of it. Look what they've done to construction and that industry. If it looks like an employee, you are directing it. They more or less just work for you. And if you're finding a way of dodging the NI legally, by the way, I understand they're doing it legally. I don't know if the point is that loophole going to go in the next couple of years? Do you see that happening?
Yeah, it's a tough thing to say because, previous government, this government, so many changes have happened. We've basically just done our best to keep our, fingers on the pulse and go about making sure all the guardrails are in place for us. So, for example, we never tell them where they need to go. They self-select which shifts they pick up. They self-select which clients they want to work with. We can't force them to do anything. We basically maintain standards and quality assurance, and we give them complete freedom to work with other people. So we never enforce them that you can only work for us if you're choosing to do so. It's all within your own choice type of thing. So we're doing our best to keep up those things. But, like you said, we don't know how the legislation landscape will change. So we just have to do our best to keep our fingers on the pulse there.
And also, if you ever want to sell your business, I think the most valuable thing in care is a full-time team that works solely for you. That's what, when we're buying a day nursery, that's what we're looking for. Are you regular or irregular in the space? Is everyone doing it like you, or are you?
So we are quite innovative in what we're doing. So we're the only provider in the UK who is both a marketplace and a regulated provider doing that hyperlocal model. So actually, like a lot of our value comes in the IP and the operations model that we have, as well as obviously. So we're seeing ourselves as a tech company and a healthcare company, rather than just a traditional dom care company.
But is your plan to sell this?
Eventually, we do plan on exiting, whether that be in 5 years, whether that be in 10 years, but we don't see our potential acquirer being a traditional buyer. We think of them, we think private equity, we think a health tech company that have been quite active in the M&A space in the UK in this sector.
But if I'm a private equity company, I'm just feeding this for you to think about, playing devil's advocado, if you like.
Yeah.
What am I buying? I want to buy management and team and system. Yep. So it sounds like you've got a brilliant system, big tick, but who's the management and who's the team that are going to deliver the system? And I just, I think
we're quite early there. We're still building that up.
Because if everyone's a contractor and they can just leave, you devalue your exit value. And I know that you might be saving some tax short term, but long term, does that, you can go, right, well, can I meet the team? Well, there is no team. They're all contractors. Oh, really?
Yeah, so obviously we still have an operational team. So we have managers and supervisors in place. It's the end care workers that are obviously the contractors. And I completely understand your point in terms of, a buyer may see that as a grey area or an amber flag.
Well, just think, I own a big chain of day nurseries. If I was going to sell my day nursery and if I said all of my staff are on agency, that would be a big red flag for an acquirer.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Look, you might be right, and I could be completely wrong. But I think my job here is just to dump those points onto you to think about.
No, of course, no, 100%. And I think we are trying to be as prudent as we can, but also try and be innovative. And sometimes there are those grey spots in the middle, and I appreciate you bringing those up.
What's next, JB?
Third biggest challenge is the M&A part. So, what's your challenge with M&A, mate? Or is that go back to the point?
Yeah, so. A couple of extra points around that. So one is finding inventive ways of structuring the deal. And then also, like, we've had a pretty poor relationship with our bank in the sense that, we've never had an account manager. We've never had a person of contact. So we don't actually know who we can go to with our bank. So I've basically had to kind of go out there and find, these venture debt lenders and so on to kind of find things that should have kind of been made available to us. So, who are the people that we can go to in terms of financing the debt element of things, structuring the deals, accessing deal flow that, isn't on through the brokerages, and we can start generating our own deal flow as well.
But I think one of the big things that you're missing out is you're trying to use technology to build rapport.
Yeah.
You're not building any rapport. And so if I met you and I had a care home and you told me your wonderful story and that was via a face-to-face meeting, I would be like, I want to help this guy. How can I help him? I'm selling my business. I believe in him. I like his energy.
His mum and dad are in the space. He's been in it since he was a kid.
Yeah, and this stuff is still so important and becoming more and more important because everyone is doing what you're doing. And so people are like, James, how are you buying all these businesses? How do you do it all? I very rarely go to the bank and raise money. I buy it, find a way of doing it myself using structured deals. Then I restructure it with the bank. And so I would be going to these companies saying, look, let me buy it, let me pay you each month, and then at year 2, I'll pay you the full amount and I'll take you out with HSBC, Lloyds. Let me improve the management, let me improve the numbers. You say to them, what do you want for the business? And they go, I want £1 million. Well, how did you get to that valuation? They tell you, and you say, well, I think that's a little bit too much, but we could get to 750. I will pay you that. Usually the way this works with the way we do things is, I don't know if we can pay you a 10% deposit and then pay you something each month. We would let you have a debenture still over the business, so you've got security, but it's very tax efficient for you. Then at the end of the 2 years, I'll take you out with the bank. Because what banks are looking for is management, affordability and security. So who is it that we're lending the money to? Do we believe in the management? Can they afford the loan? And then if there is security, great. And I can introduce you to a very good finance broker that once you've done this will just, rinse and repeat with high street banks. No higgity pickety, jiggity jokety, finance here. This is just normal stuff.
Okay, that makes sense. Do you mind if I ask a follow-up question?
Yeah, go for it.
So obviously in the kind of educational phase that you touched on there, where you say, how did you get to that valuation? This is how we normally do things. What I found an extraordinary amount of friction whenever I get to that stage, even with the ones who I have been a bit more local and I have met in person, where, they hear any concept of not 100% cash on day one, and, they get quite heated, let's say.
A cash or a K. So do you one more time? A K.
Akshay.
Sorry, Akshay. Look, you just got to go and see more people and build rapport.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you now, so many deals, with bank deals, there's always an element of vendor finance.
Yeah.
And the bank love it when they go, right, okay, well, that seller must believe in their business because they're waiting a bit for their money. But you obviously... you've got to get in the car and go and see these things. If it's a good business, go and view them.
Yeah.
Once you've got a couple under your belt and people know who you are, it gets much easier.
That's what I've heard you say quite a few times. And I think where we are so early on, I think there's a lot of things that we need to practice, get better at. And
let me tell you now, getting venture debt and all of that palaver sounds way more complicated than my view. And what's the worst thing going to say? No, move on to the next one.
Yeah.
And this is why it's really important that you have 10 or 15 going at any one time.
Yeah. And then how would you suggest I go about increasing that deal flow so I can get 10 or 15 in front of me? Because right now I'm just
Direct mail, send letters
waiting
out to people that you know that would be your ideal buy.
Got it. And is that something you do internally, or did you kind of outsource that to companies to kind of maybe do that for you?
I write the letters, send them in the post with a handwritten envelope and a stamp on. I try and move away from technology as much as possible because everyone's doing that. So I want to be unusual in a very usual world.
Got it.
Look, and then it's obviously, actually, you've got it, whatever it is. You're driven, you want to get going. If you can convince people to give you venture money and they see something in you, if you go and see enough deals, you'll get deals over the line.
And then what would you be, because obviously now yesterday was my first day of post-merge integration. What is your playbook for post-merge integration? Like bringing in new systems, making sure you don't scare everyone with the changes and so on and so on.
You know, evolution, not revolution.
Do you mind expanding?
Well, yeah, you want to do evolution rather than revolution. Lots of people go in and go for revolution. You know, we're changing everything today. You've got to bring people with you, haven't you? Especially in this type of business.
100%.
And I think that's very important. And so you look for 1% improvements each day, and then over a 12, 24, 18-month process, you've got a much better, different business model. It's really important that in these care businesses that we bring the team with us and not scare them with too much stuff. Even just a change of software and technology can make people go, what is this?
Couldn't agree more there.
You know, and training your team. That's what I think. You know, once you could have a full-time team that just worked for you. I mean, I'm sure you will end up changing your mind on this and go down that route because that would definitely make the business more valuable, better than everyone else. Because you say, look, our team work for us full-time and we train them very well, and that makes us the best in the marketplace. And so when you get is it CQC that inspect you? Yeah. CQC,
bang on.
Yeah. So, you know, when they see that you've got the team that are working full time for you, that your training policies are the best, you know, that is all the stuff that gets you your ratings and your gradings up. So more local authorities and NHS people want to work with you.
Got it. Okay. No, fantastic. Appreciate that. That makes a lot of sense. And then with like the, post-merge integration as well, like where we've got management staying on for 3 months, how would you kind of go about like the phasing process of, you know, keeping them involved early stage to make sure, you know, BAU doesn't get disrupted, but also preparing yourself that, you know, they're leaving in 3 months and that, you know, things don't hit the fan when they do go.
In 3 months.
Yeah, they were the owner operator, but they had a deputy.
Yeah, so this I wouldn't be trying to buy owner managed businesses. I would be trying to buy owner-owned businesses with an excellent management team in place, and keep them. Because when I'm looking to buy a business, I'm looking at management first. Who are the people running this business? I don't want to go and buy myself a job. I want to buy a well-oiled machine. And look at the bigger businesses, by the way. Actually, you know, that's the ones that you really want to have a look at. The bigger they are, the better in my experience, because they usually have layers of management that you can then leverage at other parts of your entrepreneurial ecosystem, if you like.
The issue with the bigger business, and please correct me because I feel like I've probably got a bit of a naive or maybe small-minded perspective on this one, is that obviously the bigger businesses come with obviously a bigger price tag and usually a higher EBITDA multiple when you're buying it. Wouldn't that make negotiating and structuring a deal with a bigger business where I don't have the equity resources to put in, even if it was a 10, 15, 20% down payment, a bit harder?
I think you just need to go and see him. I've got a friend that's in your space that just bought 10 care homes for £1 out of administration. It was a £6 million business. There's loads of those up for sale and happening all the time.
Okay.
This limiting belief factor, you know, go and study all the great entrepreneurs, whether it's Richard Branson starting Virgin Atlantic Airways. He called Boeing and said, I haven't got any money. Can I lease an aeroplane from you because I want to start an airline from scratch from London to New York? And he managed to get it over the line as a 20-year-old. Every great story of businesses that are built have those stories in them because no one has the money in the beginning unless they've got uber rich parents. And then all of a sudden, if you have those leg ups, you don't learn the skill sets of negotiation and finding a way of getting it done.
Right. Okay. Makes sense.
Look, you've got one or two over the line, and you know more can be done now.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping with. Once we perfect the process of doing it once, and then from a internal structure, internal team, and also the migratory tech as well to make that integration part seamless. We're hoping over the next 6 months, if we can build those systems and structures in place, then the next deal will just be smoother and smoother and smoother from both obviously deal structuring and also operationally and integrating. So we're trying to build that know-how together so we can make it repeatable.
Fine. There you go. Sounds good.
Just be careful. Having a look at your website, just be careful that you don't talk too techie to people, because don't forget you're going in to sell to probably people who are in a people business and they're not all tech focused. I understand that you're building a tech company behind the scenes.
Venture funds want that, but people that want, you've got to do some good old fashioned stuff. Use technology, absolutely. We all should be doing it, but you need to learn the old fashioned arts that less and less people are using. And when you use it, because basically I think a lot of your customers, a lot of the sellers will be baby boomers, won't they?
Yes, like my parents are a great example there.
Exactly.
Majority of the sellers are between 55 and 75, looking to retire, and home care is an industry where selling is hit and miss. A good proportion of them will probably never sell and just have to close up shop.
Yep.
But another proportion, it is becoming a little bit of a hot market at the moment. So it's a mixture of the two there.
Yeah, old school is the best school. I mean, would your parents respond to an Instagram message to buy their business?
Not Instagram, but if they went for a broker, then maybe. But
go through a broker, absolutely. But don't go. We love this business. Let me come and view it. Meet the people, build rapport.
Yeah, no, 100%. And one thing actually you touched on one of your last episodes, and I'd love to get your opinion on. Obviously, I know you love old school media like leaflet drops and so on. We typically do a lot of our outbound marketing is through like lead generation services, because what we found is, especially with socials and stuff, like people, firstly, our target market aren't on there. And secondly, you don't scroll through Instagram, TikTok, Facebook looking for care. If you see it, most of the time you ignore it until you're in the position where you need it. But at the same time, we found that leaflet drops, when we did 2 or 3 experiments, and we had such an abysmal ROI that we just kind of scrapped it. And just
for your business, I would be picking up the phone and ringing NHS providers and local authorities and finding out who they are and reaching out to them. And then I would, for the private healthcare things, I would be going to where else do those people shop and buy, and find a way of referring each other. So
also Google Ads.
Yeah, Google Ads.
Google Ads will work for this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because when my mum needed care, we literally just Googled the company and looked, and it was down to who had the best Google reviews. That was it.
Yeah.
Good point.
It's not scroll stopping stuff like I say for Instagram.
Yeah.
Google is the best when you've got a demand and you want to service that demand there and then. That's the place that you guys need to be in for sure. Yeah.
Like at the point of search, like when the hair is on fire type of thing, just being in front of them.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, again, goes back to why your website, therefore, in my opinion, needs to be a bit more soft and cuddly. I think you've got two markets here. You've got those that sort of the care homes or the current care providers that you want to effectively do an M&A strategy with. And then you've got the end consumer. I'm not landing on your website and going, oh, these guys could look after my mum because they've got an automated app that's going to turn up with 80% efficiency and blah, blah, blah. Like it's just not the right messaging. You need to do more, would you call them customer cuddles? It needs to be much more cuddly and soft, I would say.
Okay, duly noted.
You're amazing.
I think there's all my questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being
amazing.
on
Where
the big show.
can people find out more info about you guys if they have got a care requirement?
They can find us. Yeah, so they can find us on chimecare.co.uk. They can contact me directly on LinkedIn. That's actually dear. And we were lucky enough to win Consumer Startup and Young Entrepreneur of the Year. So I like to think we're making a bit of an impact.
Amazing.
Very cool. Good for you, mate. And we wish you well in your entrepreneurial ventures. Thank you for being on the
how
podcast.
old are you, quickly?
I just turned 27.
Well done, mate.
Thank you very much.
God, makes you feel old, doesn't it? That makes you feel old. Well done, mate. Good luck with everything moving forward. We look forward to seeing your ascent towards continued success. Nice one, mate. Thank you for being on.
Thank you. Have a lovely rest of the day.
And you, mate. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
What a lovely fella he was. There you go. Actually, all the way from Chime Care. Time for the intro to the greatest point of the show where we rate today's entrepreneurs. James Sinclair, the oracle of entrepreneurship. Rates our entrepreneurs out of a total of 8, which will be great.
Starting with the end in mind. I think you can have that,
I think you can have that.
Passionate about their cause.
Oh, yeah, he loves a bit of care.
Untold amounts of resilience. Don't know that, do we?
We don't know.
They master relationships with people. I don't think he's good at that yet.
Oh, hello.
He's trying to do it all through technology. And
That's
so,
true.
Isn't he?
That's true.
Commercial awareness. I think he's got that, yeah.
Yeah, you can have that one.
Yeah. They innovate, so I definitely think he's got an innovator, so they don't evaporate. Master marketeer. No. They stay teachable and curious.
You can have that one.
Yeah, I think you can have that one. That's
Hang
a
on,
good score.
Were you about to give him? We're not giving that one. We've never not given that to somebody.
Stay teachable and curious.
Yeah. You can have
Yeah,
that
I
one.
think it's that's a 5.
A 5. Congratulations.
That deserves a
Nice.
song, I think. Over to you,
Does
JB.
Okay, and 4, 3, 2, and he's got a 5. This business is gonna thrive. He's got a 5. This business is gonna thrive. He's got a 5.
Do you know what I love? Is the disgust
I
on
know.
Johnson's face.
He's gonna thrive. He's got a 5.
Yeah.
He's got a 5.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a 5. He's gonna stay alive because he's got a 5. Johns!
I love it when you do that. That's my favourite bit of the whole show.
I was just having to play for time there just to get to the chuds bit. There you go.
Chuds is the best bit. I think it's your turn to read out, sweetheart.
I think it is.
It's
indeed.
now time for
It
the
is
business
time for the
quiz.
business quiz. Thank you, Chuds.
It's Jim versus
Excuse the
JB
coughing
on
today,
the
guys.
quiz that's businessy.
Here we go.
Business knowledge and it's fun.
Which one's clever and which one's dumb?
Izzy Wizzy.
Let's get quizzy. Inside this quizzical folder is a quizzical question related to the subject of the sector on which we have just discussed. And today's quizzical question is, this should be good. What is the average annual revenue per bed in a private UK care home in 2024? What is the average annual revenue per bed in a private UK care home in 2024?
Per annum?
Per annum, yes.
What are you going with?
I'm going 48,000.
Yeah, I've gone 33,000 a month.
I was going to go that. So
36,000.
aligned, didn't we? Couple
It's
of business
expensive.
legends, couple of business.
It's expensive, isn't it? Because a lot of
It is.
people, if you've got, what did he actually said it, didn't it? If you've got more than £23,000 worth of assets.
Yeah, it comes out of your money, not
Yeah.
government funded. My mum's in a specialist dementia care home, £6,500 a month.
Is it?
Yeah.
And who's paying for that?
There's no punchline. They're
Mum.
my dad's estate. Yeah.
And so what happens if that money runs out?
I don't know. I guess they put her in a wet blanket and stick her in a garden on a cold night and hope for the best.
So she sold her house.
So my dad was quite frugal with costs, as you would say. So when he passed away years ago now, he left a bunch of money, and that's just
Did you get any of that?
gently dwindled away. No, I did not.
If you had,
But that'll all get taxed. That'll all get taxed away now. That's mad. Like a guy works his entire life, sold his little accountancy firm, and left it like combined. I don't know, probably £1 million pot. That'll all be gone unless you do something clever with it.
well, let's find out who the answer is because I've got another
Oh yeah,
question
sorry,
for you.
yeah, okay. And the answer is. So what did you go? 36.
Yeah.
Bloody right.
What is it?
42,000. What did I say? 48. Yes, I win. Thank God. Needed.
No, hang on a sec.
Hang on. Oh, is it a draw? It's a draw. You said 36. I said 48. I was £6,000 off. You were £6,000 off.
That is a draw. We've never had that.
a draw.
We can share it.
We're double champions.
We
This
are
is
the
based-
double champions.
Have you got a coin in your pocket? I don't
Who's
think-
got a coin these days?
Yeah.
Who's got
We
a
need
coin?
to have a winner. We can't just not have a winner. Okay. No, I haven't got that. Right. I've got no. Okay, we'll have a draw. I was going to try and flip a coin and say this is based on 88% occupancy. Private paying residents are 65 to 70% of the revenue. Local authority funded residents are 30 to 35% of the revenue. Beds can go up to 50 grand per, depending on the location and the level of care. Well, yeah, same. My mum's $6.5 grand a month, so that's 80,000 quid a year, isn't it?
Oh, no,
That's a lot of dough. Okay, heads or tails?
heads.
It's heads, you win. Can't catch a break, can I? Cannot catch a break. What a load of rubbish. I hate this show. Hate this show.
Can I say I've got
branded mugs. I drive 6 hours for this every 2 weeks. I get mugged off and I can't even win.
This is this is start of our merch. We have one with you on as well. But we're gonna we are doing this all in house. Who would have guessed?
Who would have guessed it? It just popped up this morning, midway through the morning.
We tried to get a sign up, but the sign was just is a bigger version of this. And
there was a bit of a miscommunication, wasn't there?
Yeah.
You wanted the logo, and they decided to put your face in
my
a
mugshot.
Yeah, your mugshot.
But yeah, don't worry. Christmas gifts are coming. If you want to gift your loved one a business broadcast mug,
please, somebody, surely with you lot, with your level of skill, we can start quickly, spin up a Shopify site, and people could have James Sinclair mugs as stocking fillers. Surely that's
we've already got it. You can buy the merch at jamessinclair.net. By the time this comes out,
have you got
the
merch?
mugs on?
Oh yeah, brilliant.
Well, so far the merch is a book. We're going to do a sticker.
We don't want proper merch. We want stupid stuff.
Yeah, we'll do a tea towel. We're going to have the business broadcast tea towel.
Oh, that's great. Tea towel and mugs. Imagine.
But you know, like your kids at school have to draw a little picture. Me and you just have a collection of our drawings. Yeah, in there.
There's James. He's the big entrepreneur, and there's little James, and he's the sad-looking entrepreneur. Woo! Put him on a tea towel. If you have enjoyed today's conversation, please feel free to leave us a 5-star review. We love the comments on YouTube.
I've got a question. If you had £100,000, someone left you £100,000.
Yeah.
What would you do with it?
Oh, I'd be sensible with it and stick it all in Bitcoin.
Is that what you would do?
No. What would I do?
And viewers, if you're watching at home, if you got given £100,000, what would you do with it? Put it in the comments here on YouTube. I'd love to. I can't wait to read that.
I think I would stick it in a Vanguard or something like that. Something that's all of market, safe.
So you wouldn't start a business?
Not paying fees. Well, no, I'd carry on what I'm doing. What would you do with 100 grand? Jay, by the time I walk to the bloody door, it's evaporated.
By £100,000, I would.
100,000. Here's a question for you: £100,000, but you have to spend it on something for yourself or your family. Something like fun, and you can't. I'm going to reinvest it
because the audience. The audience would want to know what I would do from a business point of view. I'll answer both. I would. I
pay a week's worth of payroll. Not even a day's worth
of payroll. Yeah. Now my payroll is more than £100,000 a day now.
Is it really?
Oh, absolutely.
Christ on a bike.
Half
of that is Chuds as well. He's expensive, but he's good. Jeez.
I would set up another day nursery in one of our locations. That would be one of the things. Or I would buy £100,000 worth of shipping containers and rent them out and build a self-storage park on one of my locations, Red Lions Business Park.
Are you having a little dabble in that little space?
More than a little dabble, baby.
Are you?
Yeah.
What, are you doing the storage shipping thing in Majiggy?
We bought one, yeah. Or we're in the process of buying one.
What, a storage park?
300 shipping containers.
Really?
Oh, yeah. There'll be a full YouTube video coming out on the main channel.
In Essex?
Oh, I can't divulge that. You have to wait till it comes out on the main channel. No, that's called. That's opening an information gap that people are going to watch here and they're going to go, I want to know the information.
Yeah, too right. They're going to love
so
that.
You just have to keep an eye. That'll be out on the main channel within the next 24 months.
Would you be brilliant. Would you put the shipping containers on your existing
site? I want to build a brand of shipping container sites just because they're trading businesses, they make money and you need very low staffing and it's better than commercial property. And whilst I love commercial property, you need a lot of money to get them going. You can go and invoice finance shipping containers. So my £100,000, I could probably build a shipping container business or a self-storage business. £100,000 might be able to buy me some land, put that down as a deposit, mortgage the land, then lease finance the shipping containers, save around £5,000 for Facebook ads, Google ads to fill the thing up. If I had £100,000 personally, what would I do with it? I would put that towards an extension on my home, big flashy kitchen, indoor cinema, maybe, just at home. I'd spend the whole lot at home.
Is that what you're doing? Are you going to do that at your gaff?
If I do that, yeah.
You can't do fancy extensions there. It's like an old place, isn't it?
Yeah, but I would do it in keeping.
The council have a field day.
No, yeah, but you can do it in keeping.
I can see the headlines now on the Malden Echo. Multi-millionaire Sinclair ruins old.
I haven't got an indoor cinema room, and I think I would actually use it.
Would you?
Yeah. I love watching movies.
Do you?
Good movies. I just think nothing.
Do you turn your phone off? Is that like one of the times you turn your phone off and actually just switch your brain off?
Depends how good the movie is.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, I could watch Gladiator again and again and again. I could watch The Godfather again and again and again. The Christopher Nolan Batman films again and again and again.
I'd tell you what you shouldn't watch, especially with the kids, that you think you can watch these days. Back to the Future. I was thinking, I could watch that. It's 6+ rated on Disney+. That is a rude film.
Why?
Language in it's bad. There's a bit of moderate racism. And there's a couple of little sexy bits. And I was like, I'm watching this with a 5-year-old.
Sexy bits?
Yeah.
Back to the Future?
Yeah, when his mum tries to snog him.
Well, yeah,
Do you not remember?
Right.
Not when it's your mum.
Oh, what, when he goes into the West End, back in
What's
time?
wrong with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Don't watch that film. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this, what would you do with the 100 grand, Chuds?
Invest it.
In what?
Vanguard.
In Vanguard. What would you do if you had to spend it on fun stuff? If you had to.
Buy 911.
Would you? He knows. Chuds knows.
Did we get that on? Did that pick up on?
Yeah, he said 911. He could do it. He could do anything, this guy.
What would be your dream car?
Oh, my dream car. I like the Lamborghinis. I'd like if I was going to go for it, I'd have like a lime green Lamborghini, like a proper knob. But I just love them.
That is not my cup of tea.
What would you get?
A Rolls
Oh,
Royce.
do you know what? I like a Rover 25 because I'm frugal. It costs.
No, Rolls Royce Wraith or Ghost.
Why don't you get yourself one of them? You can easily afford one of them.
No, because there's more important things. I just once Rolls Royce gifted me one.
They're notorious for doing that. They love a YouTube influencer with 100k subs. They definitely will consider that a good. Do you like cars, or is it just utility?
I like camper vans.
Yeah, how you get on with your camper van?
I love my camper van.
Do you use it? Do you think you're going to use it as much as you thought you would?
Yeah, I drove it to Marsh Farm on Saturday. I done magic shows at Marsh Farm this
I
weekend.
saw that.
Yeah, and
why?
Because it was the fireworks night and there was no one else, so they went, Jim, but I like doing it.
Yeah.
And there was quite
Can
a
you
few
still
people.
do it?
Of course I can do it.
Yeah, but are you still good at the tricks and that?
Yeah, I got very good again because I've done a few recently.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, so you know the muscle memory's back now. Yeah, it's very good. A few people watched the podcast. Were in the audience.
Really?
He came up to me and went, watch the podcast, different kind of show.
Do you still love doing it?
But anyway, I took the camper van to Marsh Farm and then in the break between the shows, went and made a cup of tea and a little lay down.
Oh, very nice. Did you have big fireworks at Marsh Farm this weekend?
Yeah, big fireworks. Made an error there, rookie error. We should have done it this weekend coming. Anyway, there you go.
No. Glad I bought
It's
that.
not always great working for James Sinclair. I do get angry sometimes.
Oh, I can imagine. You could just do it again this weekend, couldn't you? Double it up.
No. Those days are gone.
Okay. We'll leave that there, shall we, everybody?
Thanks for watching, gang. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you love the podcast, please pass it on to someone that you think it could help to grow your business.
Pass the pod. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching today, gang. I hope you enjoyed the show. Now, look, we're looking for some great businesses to come on the podcast. If you've got challenges, but you're desperate to grow your business and you can't necessarily work out how to do it on your own, you'll be a perfect candidate to come here on the podcast. It's absolutely free to come on the show. Go to my website, jamessinclair.net, and there's a podcast button. Click on the podcast button, fill in the application form, and we'll do our very best to get you on the show and try and grow your business.